Hey guys, it's Doc. Welcome back to part 3 of books that you can reread over and over and over when you are snowed in. Tonight we are going to talk about The Fall of Hal Jordan and Emerald Twilight. Why this book resonated with me the way that it did, I don't really know as far as the naming goes. I really think the idea of an Emerald Twilight, and I get why Ron Mars called it that, but the idea of an Emerald Twilight would be one of the most beautiful things you could ever see. And so maybe that's what got my attention. Now, I'll admit that the third and final part was my first book that I ever bought. And it was because it was embossed and it was full of, it was glow in the dark. And so just having those two things when I was, this was March of 94, so when I was, 12 going on 13, that was a big deal. And I really loved how that book looked when it glowed in the dark. It was amazing. But to see the fall of one of DC's greatest characters, this is up there, in my opinion. It's a trilogy. You have the death of Superman, you have Knightfall for Batman, and then you have Emerald Twilight. And those were the big three that DC pushed. Superman died in 92, Knightfall was in 93, and here we go, the fall of Hal, after that. So how do you get this to be one of the greatest books that you can reread over and over? You get to see the pinnacle, possibly even a greater superhero than Superman, fall from grace simply because he wanted to use his power in a personal manner one time out of a decades-long career. Mongol destroyed Coast City, which was Hal Jordan's hometown. And in destroying that, it caused him to snap. And he rebuilt Coast City using his Green Lantern ring. And in the end, one of the Owens, one of the Guardians, came and said, "You are to report to Oa because you have used this ring for personal gain." And that was one of the things years ago when Hal Jordan took the ring, was one of the things is that you cannot use it for personal gain. You have to use it for the betterment of society, the betterment of mankind, the betterment of one other person, but you cannot do it for you. So they set him up to fail. They set him up to fail at the beginning of this story. And then in the second part, you get to see the insanity of Hal Jordan. And through this insanity, he goes through almost the entire Corps. He goes and destroys them and takes their rings. So instead of just having one Green Lantern ring, then he has multiples. He has a ton of them. And through this, we see the birth of Parallax, one of DC's, to a lot of people, most maligned and forced villains. Hal Jordan falls. He kills his greatest enemy. And then at the end of that, you see the Parallax figure take over Hal. His fear took him over. It's the one thing that he was without is the thing that ate him alive from the inside out. And in these 3 issues, which I go back and reread these pretty often, it's just magnificent. It was done quickly. Now, Ron Mars, should have, could have, would have taken about 6 issues to show in greater detail the fall of Hal Jordan, and it wouldn't have been such a sudden snap. But unfortunately, they replaced Gerard Jones on the book, and they did it in the last moments. So Ron had, to write them boom, 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 get them up, get them done. And so we got, in what I still think is my opinion, one of the greatest DC three-parters ever that they produced. So what did you guys think about Emerald Twilight? Did you like the story? Did you pass on it? Are you not a Green Lantern fan? I mean, think about how many times that particular image by Darryl Banks has been homaged over the years. It's nowhere near as much as Amazing Spider-Man 300, but it has been homaged multiple times. I've actually got a copy around here. I didn't dig it out for the video, but Darryl Banks himself, for like a winter, December, Christmas copy, went back with Green Lantern. I think it was number 6 in the Jeremy Adams run. And he homaged his own cover with Santa Claus and Santa having bells on his hands and things like that, and a Christmas theme. But at the same time, you get to see the original artist homage their own cover. So that's it for Emerald Twilight, guys. Let me know in the comments what you thought about this. Was it up there with not Reign of the Superman, Death of Superman? Was it up there with Knightfall? Knightfall was excellent, but to me it was a little long in the tooth. It went on a little bit too long. And at one point I think I had all of the individual issues of Knightfall, but I don't know that I've got all of them anymore. I'll take a look and see what I've got, and maybe one day we'll do a Knightfall retrospective video like we're doing the Thunderbolts retrospective right now. But anyway, guys, thank you for joining me for Emerald Twilight. And next up, that's going to be a surprise. But I hope you guys thoroughly enjoyed this video. Hit the like and subscribe, and come back for part 4 tomorrow. Thanks, guys.